genXup. I'm your host, Grant Porter, and today I'm going to talk about our 3-year vision. As it's the first of the year, most of us have been either at the gym and it got really crowded, or we've been busy making our own New Year's resolutions. I think that the people at the gym will find a little frustration at how crowded it got. And then by February, everything's going to be back to normal. It seems as this every year when anyone or most of us make our resolutions, they bitter out pretty quick. So what I'm offering is a different idea. It's to find that compelling 3-year vision for what you want your life to be moving forward. What does it look like? Where do you live? What do you do for work? Who are you surrounded by? And then most importantly, what makes you happy, authentically happy? It's really okay if you can't come up with a clear picture of that right now. It'll come to you. On the last pod, I talked about kind of clearing the decks and some of the things to help you get that clearer vision for what you want your life to be. If you're not ready to write it down and create that clearer picture of who you're going to be, not who you want to be, and maybe you're going to get there, but rather it's just part of your future that hasn't happened yet. So to clear your deck, my suggestion in the last pod was, get rid of negative noise in your life, tune out of politics and news, keep abreast with current events if that's an important thing for you to do. But for the most part, just clear out noise. Don't engage in social media where you're, clicking on the latest Twitter and saying some snarky comment or sharing or, just get it out. Letting go of past traumas, things that have happened that have had a big impact in your life, which you cannot change. And you let your mind just run with them constantly, whether it's a breakup, whether it's the loss of someone in your life, whether it's the loss of a career opportunity or business relationship, whatever it is that's over and you can't change it, let it go. If it's a big emotional thing, give it time. Pick a date that's important for that relationship or that thing and make a marker for yourself. Journal it and let it go then. Stop shitty self-talk. I can't do it. I suck. I'm fucking terrible at everything. I'm a loser. Whatever your shitty self-talk is, start having positive affirmations. Unhealthy habits. If, you're every night needing to soothe yourself with a glass of wine or even a bottle or a couple cocktails, get rid of that. Cut out toxic relationships. Relationships where people are judgmental in our lives, people who are just mean and hurtful, or toxic relationships, or just a lot of negativity coming from an individual. Unfriend them, unfollow them. Maybe if you don't want to disrupt the cart too much in your relationships, just unfollow and mute. Keep them at an arm's length. You don't have to totally let them go, but cut them out of your daily intake of energy. If you're carrying a grudge or a resentment against somebody, they pissed you off, let go of that. The other thing is embrace the fear of failure and the fear of the unknown. Know that any great thing that's happened in the world has had more failures than it had successes. And it's just working through those failures is what gets you to the point of success. I can't remember how many light bulbs Edison created, but there were a lot. And most startups, when you talk to successful entrepreneurs, they've had 10, 20 failed attempts before they had the one that really got it going for them. Leave behind your perfectionism. Don't try to make it perfect. I kind of flubbed it on the pod the other night. What I try to work with my teams is, ready, shoot, aim, meaning get ready, do your thing, and then readjust and recalibrate for what it is you're working on. Believe you can do anything. This is a really important thing. If you feel like you're going to fail before you start, you're going to fail. It's the self-fulfilling prophecy. Believe you can do it and then just start doing it. And you may have setbacks, but keep believing and it will work. Procrastination. It's another one, quit procrastinating. I'm a big fan of minimalism. You know, many of you who have watched this on YouTube see that I'm on a boat, and I apologize for the background in the lights moving around, maybe a little more than normal. There's a significant storm rolling into the coast of California tonight, so it's a little rocky aboard the vessel Tenacity. Um, but clear out clutter. Get rid of it. You know, if your car's a mess, if your house a mess, your closet's a mess, your storage unit's a mess, uh, schedule some time to clear that shit out. And as you do those things, energetically, you'll start to feel your superpowers, you know. And when I talk about superpowers, for me, I know my two superpowers are connecting people and for improving things. And for connecting people, I always seem to be the guy that knows a guy that connects it to another person. So that's what I mean by connecting, making introductions and bringing people together. And the other one is improving things. I've had a great track record of restoring cars and boats and homes and designing things, and I know that that's what I'm good at. And energetically, that's what I like to do. So when you discover what your superpower is, you know, focus on that. It could be creativity. It could be bookkeeping. It could be fitness. It could be, you know, 1,000 different things that are unique to each of us. But whatever your superpower is, that's really going to help direct you as you come to a conclusion and start thinking about, you know, what vision you want for your life. You know, where do you want to be? Where do you want to live? What do you want to do? How do you want to make money? You know, what's really going to bring you happiness? And take the time to do it. If you're not ready, it's totally cool. Just put it in the back of your head. I am working right now on a worksheet that will be available to download at genx.com. And most importantly, write things down. You know, once you write them down, that makes a big difference of your success. Uh, when you really start to do this, you get a clear and unequivocal decision that it's not something you want, but rather it's something that is in your future that just hasn't happened yet. That's a big difference. Creating a want is much different than just believing this is how my life's going to go, regardless. It's going to happen. And I think that, I don't think, I believe that once you target in with your superpowers to your 3-year vision and you start to put that out to the universe and you get that positive energy going, uh, manifestation is absolutely crazy. You know, I'll take a second and I'll share how it's worked out for me recently. It's been about 3 or 4 months since I sat back and did this exercise for myself. A big change happened in my life last summer, and the direction that I thought my life was going to go, with the person I thought it was going to go, and in the place I thought it was going to go, didn't work out. And it didn't work out somewhat unexpectedly for me. So it came as a bit of a shock. And trying to readjust from that sort of transition that you had been working from in your state of mind for me, it had been nearly 7 years. And switching into this sense of, man, what the fuck am I going to do now? I have no idea. So I started to think about my world and what I like. And I know I like to travel. I love boats. I like to work on things and I like to connect people. For work, most of my work is done online. I specialize in helping early stage companies and startups get their teams together and get to market. And I can do that all remotely. Now with Starlink, it seems much more possible to be in much more remote places. So I started thinking through that process and was, okay, well, what if I got rid of the big motorboat that I currently live on and got a boat that was capable of ocean passages? I'm a good enough sailor. I've got nearly 30 years of experience, and I started, you know, kind of journaling about that. And I said, all right, in 3 years, my vision is going to be to have a blue water sailboat. It's going to have a podcast that connects people. It has creativity involved in it. Uh, it will be able to be produced and created remotely um, with technology. And thank God for Starlink. And that's my vision. And I didn't tell anybody about it. I just simply wrote it down in my journal, which every morning I spend about 30 minutes journaling. And I would encourage you to do that as part of your process also. And literally, I don't know, it was maybe a month later, our portmaster gave me a ring, and there was a couple that had just rented a slip, but they didn't have a boat, and they were in the market. And they walked past my boat and they pointed at it and said, "We want something like that." And he knew my story and gave me a ring. And sure enough, they came and looked at the boat. They loved it and they made an offer. And of course, because I live on the boat, I wasn't willing to just say, "Yeah, sure, let's go." It was conditional on finding a boat that would fit the criteria for that vision for 3 years from now. And of course, sometimes when you're looking for something, it just isn't there. It needs to come to you. And so for about a month, I drove up and down the coast of California, checking out sailboats that punched all the or checked off all the boxes rather, and looked good in pictures. But when I got to them, they just needed too much work. And unfortunately, my budget's at a spot where the boats that would really be great are just out of reach right now. They will come to me in my future. I am absolutely certain about it. But right now, in this first leg of this new journey, I have a smaller budget. And after about a month of searching and getting somewhat discouraged, I felt like, you know what? It's not going to happen. It's okay. When the time's right, I'll sell the boat. And I did find plenty of boats that looked like they would be ones that would work great. And they have proven to be, because they're cruisers that are currently in Mexico or the Caribbean or the Mediterranean. And they've finished their journey and they're ready to move on to their next chapter, what their next vision is. And the boats are on the market and they're in the price point. So where I'd left it was thinking, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wait. But of course, because I like to look at boats, it's a fun thing if you like boats. I kept checking on Yacht World and have a little save search. And literally last Friday, a boat that completely checked off all the boxes and in my price point, and an original owner who loves his boat, but has just reached an age that he can't use it anymore, put it on the market. And I drove down Monday to look at it. And sure enough, it was even better than in the photos, and made an offer. And I'm currently in contract on that boat. Now, whether or not it comes to be mine is, still yet to be seen. But I think that the example that I'm laying out right now is that once you get a clear vision, if there's a case example of how it works, I mean, I had no idea what I wanted to do 4 months ago. A month after that, I started to get a little clarity of vision. I started to apply these techniques and write them down. I cleared my decks immensely. I knew one of my issues that I needed to do was get my health a little bit better. I've been focused on that. I think I've lost nearly 40 or 45 pounds since the summer. When I first started hiking, I was struggling to get up a hill, and I did the same hike that I did a few months ago and cut my time in half. So it's a journey, but if you have a clear destination, a clear vision, it makes it so much easier and so much more fun. So this vision project that I'm encouraging you to do is to step back, clear your decks if you need to, let go of the things that we talked about before, and then write it down. One of the other steps is keep in alignment what your core values are. So, your core values could be, you're innovative. You like to say yes. When things align with your vision and your life, you say yes to them. You go do them. You're fun. That could be a core value. You approach life with optimism. Other core values are integrity. You live your life filled with integrity. You're honest. When you give your word, you keep your word. That's really important to me. I learned that lesson, God, at 19 years old. I was working for a sailboat shop, the only one in Phoenix, Arizona. And the manager, a great guy, still a friend to this day, he taught me the valuable lesson of keeping your word. And it had to do with a key for the building. Uh, he had to do something and leave early, and, gave me the responsibility to lock up. And he asked me to put the key in a certain place. And because I was 19 and had a better way to do it, I put the key in a place that was more convenient for me, and let him know that it was in this other place. But when I came into work, the next shift that I had, I was informed that my services were no longer needed. And I sat there with my jaw dropping to the floor and just thinking, like, what? Why? And his response was, look, you said you were going to do this thing and you didn't do it. And you know, you broke your word, so you're done. And I swear to God, I begged for that job back for 3 months. And Dan, if you happen to watch this episode, make a comment and give your side of the story. But it literally changed my life. So when I say I'm going to do something, if I tell you I'm going to do something, I damn well am going to do it. And if I'm not going to, if something really comes up that makes it impossible, I'm going to clearly communicate that with you. So that's another core value. So diligence, perseverance, and just being disciplined. So align with whatever your core values are, and that'll be an area that you can write down inside of the vision worksheet. So, to make it easier for you guys, essentially, I'm going to create something, and it'll be probably within a week after this podcast. So, because the pod's so new and not many people watch anyway, you may stumble upon this in 6 months, and it's been up for a while. So it'll be at the bottom of the homepage again at genxup.com, and you can download it. Only thing I ask for in return is your name and email. I have no plans to do any emails right now because I am busy with actual clients that earn me money, and then the extra time that I spend creating these podcasts, and then shopping for boats has me just absolutely floored with time. So anyway, once you work through your vision and you get it clear, you need to really think about, what your core focus is to make that vision the reality you want. Writing down the purpose for it, the cause for it, and your passion for it will also help in this pursuit. So it'll give you clarity. Another thing to consider is in the work side of it, we call it your niche. So a lot of these same principles apply to marketing strategies for businesses. Is you identify where you want the business to be in 3 years or 5 years, and then you build up from the foundation. And so your niche is something that makes you unique to accomplish this vision that's yours. And I think that goes back to identifying what your superpowers are. So take some time. If you're not there yet, take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, sit down and do some meditation in the morning. Just clear your head of thoughts, or when the thoughts come, I talk about it like they're clouds. Don't latch onto the cloud and take it down the rabbit hole. I've been listening to a guy, and I should have wrote down more details, but if you Googled Mooji, Mooji, and then meditation, he has some self-guided meditations that are just great. And he is truly, the Karate Kid's instructor, wax on, wax off. You listen to it, it's like, cool. And starting, this month, one of my to-dos inside of my vision is to start to engage more in meditation. And here in the Southern California area I live in, there's some very spiritual areas, and they have weekly Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday groups that do meditate. So I'm going to explore that. I have found that meditation has literally been changing everything in my life. So again, if you're not ready to create your vision, take some time, step back, clear your deck, get into meditation, let's, clean up our habits. And then from there, when you get that 3-year plan, once it's written down, you're going to look back and focus on a little shorter time, your 1-year plan. And that 1-year plan, you're also going to write down. And you're going to create 8 to 10 goals that you can accomplish realistically within that year. And you're going to make a promise to yourself. And I would highly encourage you to get an accountability partner. someone who has your back. Think of it as like a workout partner. And if they're choosing to do a personal development journey themselves and really focus on what's coming next in their life, maybe they're empty nester and it's your girlfriend and she's not married and she doesn't know what to do. They don't know where to go, doesn't know what to do for a career, isn't sure about getting back in the dating world. Maybe the two of you could engage as each other's accountability partners. So you create those 8 to 10 goals that you can accomplish in that year. And then in each of the quarters, so thinking business talk again, quarters, 3 months, pick 2 to 3 of those that you can accomplish each quarter. Because if you can't measure your success and you can't be held accountable, nothing ever gets done. And that's why resolutions never work. People want to be in shape. People want to lose weight. People want to make more money, but they haven't written it down. They haven't created essentially a course chart for themselves. They don't have waypoints along the way. I love to use the sailing metaphors. Waypoints are spots on your journey that you need to reach and then usually change course, or it can be the destination. So each one of those quarters, you got to get through those waypoints and make those happy. And think of the waypoints or to-dos. So, in each one of those to-dos, you could be a certain amount of money saved. I want to start my own business and I need this thing, or I need to learn this thing. Or my vision isn't even work related. Maybe you've retired and you're bucks up and you're just like, I want to be a culinary foodie expert. I want to know more about wine. What do I need to do? I want to make plans to go spend 3 months living in Italy or the south of France. Where would it be that I live? Would it help if I learned another language or had better skills at that language? So those would be examples of waypoint to-dos to reach you to your goal. And then each week, have a meeting with yourself. I think we should call this the level X meeting. Or X level. I like that X level meeting. So the X level meeting with yourself is essentially that, you get out the piece of paper, or if you choose, I'll have the PDF so you can input directly into it and you review it. You review your success. You review, what you accomplished and what issues you have. And if you have issues, what do you need to get around them? So you had a goal, you ran into some problem, whatever that could be. You didn't make enough money. What could you do to make more money? You didn't spend enough time working out, or you weren't eating correctly because you were on a trip and you put on more weight instead of lose weight. Whatever your issues are, step back in your X level meeting and just review yourself. Like, you're your own boss, and be your best boss man or boss lady, and realign for the next week and get those little waypoints out of the way. And, as each month progresses, that combined with your superpowers, your manifestation of the vision that's not a want, but rather a reality that is just in your near or distant future, you'll start to see some real magic happen. So that's what I'm talking about today. I appreciate you sticking with us. Again, this is a new podcast, so nobody has really found it yet. So if you have found it, please go out and like, share, comment. And I'm on everything from Apple to iHeartRadio. And then my website again at genxup.com. We have a Facebook community that I've started. I'm hopeful that at some point we can have enough people integrating themselves into that, where, you might find people that are on your similar or same journey and they could be your accountability partners. So find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram, find us on YouTube. YouTube channel is great. That's where you actually get to see me, and probably behind me, the lights bouncing around tonight because it's a little rocky. And have a great night. And just remember, the past is in our wake. The future's in our imagination. So let's make the most out of now and kick some ass today. All right. So take care from Grant Porter at GenXup, and have a great day. Take care.